Good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. Really great to have you here. My name is Lisa French. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Nashville Ballet. Welcome to our home. This is the Martin Center for Nashville Ballet. We are just thrilled to be here and be able to host so many wonderful arts advocates, and are just really excited about this survey and the hard numbers that really prove the economic impact that the arts have here in Nashville and across the country. So it's my pleasure to introduce Kelly Corcoran to share a few more words. Thanks, Kelly.
Hi everybody, I'm Kelly Corcoran. I'm the Artistic Director of Intersection, and I'm very happy to be here today representing the Nashville Arts Coalition. The Nashville Arts Coalition is here to promote public policy and public funding to support a healthy arts ecology here in Nashville. So I want to share our incredible gratitude to the mayor and for everyone in the Metro Council for their wonderful support of the arts. It's such an honor to have an arts supportive mayor here in Nashville. And so without any further ado, let me please welcome our 7th mayor of Nashville, Davidson County, Megan Berry.
Thank you for being here. Well, good morning. It is a delight to be in this room with all of these wonderful, creative, and amazing people. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to Chairman Clay Haynes and all of the members of the Metro Arts Commission. If you are a member of the Metro Arts Commission, will you just raise your hand so we can say thank you? Thank you. And, you know, somebody who came in and said that art was so important to Nashville, not only from the fabric of our city, but also from an economic perspective, which we're going to talk about today. Please give a round of applause to Jen Cole, our great executive director, and Jen's team. If you are part of Metro Arts Commission, also raise your hand. Thank you guys, appreciate you. I also want to thank the Americans for the Arts. They stepped up and made it possible for us to have this very impressive study, and the Tennessee Arts Commission for partnering with Metro on this study, and of course the Nashville Ballet for hosting this here today. I'm going to do my best to try to be as graceful as they are, but so the next time you hear someone talk about a small arts nonprofit, you should know that that impact is not small. And I'm going to get Jen to go over all those numbers for you here in a minute, but this is the one that I want to highlight for you. Arts and culture nonprofits in Davidson County generate $51.1 million a year in state and local government revenues, and I think that absolutely deserves a round of applause. So what does that translate to? That translates to almost $1 million a week. That's supporting all the many things that our city and our state do, from our schools to our parks to our roads to public safety. Those millions of dollars make that possible. And that's a tremendous impact on the arts and the culture nonprofits that they are having on our city. So let's just take the Nashville Ballet, for example. This space used to have 600 students taking classes every year in this building, which used to be an indoor tennis facility. Now they have more than 2,000 students a year in this facility, and they are only growing, so this is amazing. And I don't want to think about what Nashville would be without the symphony, the opera, the Nashville Children's Theater, Cheekwood, movies at the Belcourt, and so many other things. Think about what a hole that would be leaving in the fabric of our city if we didn't have all those things. And the arts don't just fill our hearts, they fill our minds. They create jobs, they bring in tourists, and they generate that tax revenue that I said a minute ago. So one of the biggest reasons why we increased the Metro Arts grants budget this year by $500,000 was because we know that arts makes Nashville special. And we know that arts are an essential part of our success. They make us a culturally vibrant, economically vibrant global city. And that is what Nashville is known as around the world. And we know that as a global city, we can't slow down. We can't get complacent, and we have to hold tightly on to those things that make our city so special. And the arts are part of our special sauce. And I'm so grateful what they say about Nashville, so grateful for what you all do for Nashville. Our community is stronger, our community is safer, our community is more vibrant and more vital because of our arts and culture. They are all around us, and I am truly grateful that not only do they fill our heart, but they help put money in our coffers. So Jen, thank you so much. I'd like to bring Jen up now. Thank you.
Do we have the best mayor or what? We really do. I also want to thank Kathleen Murphy, who's here. This is her district. She's super happy. She was talking to me about public art on the sidewalk out there. I was hiding from her just a little bit. But I also want to thank the ballet for hosting us and my staff who worked really hard with all of the cultural organizations in the room for more than a year to do some very rigorous data collection. As the mayor said, the work of small and large cultural organizations we know builds quality of life in this community. Every single one of you have a million stories of young people, seniors, whose lives are vastly improved by participating and as audience members in the arts. We know that you all build new contemporary music. The ballet just finished their summer intensive. We know that you work with immigrant groups, Head Starts, and young people throughout the community. With the mayor and the city council, we have been for many years blessed to have broad-based support for the arts from our city leaders, and I hope this data will continue to fuel that. But let's get down to business, because that's what this report is about. And actually, if you care to follow us along on Twitter or Instagram and use the hashtag #ArtsMeansBusiness, that would be awesome. I'd like to first state by publicly thanking Laurel Fisher, our grants manager at Metro Arts, who managed this project for a year. Give her a round of applause. I love numbers, but I do not love spreadsheets, and she does, and she is the reason we have some of this amazing data. Chances are, if you've gone to pack up your picnic for Shakespeare in the Park, or you bought a ticket to Spam-A-Lot and went to a matinee, you thought you were just having fun, but what you were really doing is participating in vibrant economic vibrancy for the city of Nashville. And this report really shows what that is. I want to take a minute and talk about this report. This report is the largest of its kind in the United States. More than 341 survey areas, study regions from throughout the United States were part of this in all 50 states. So this data is rigorous. It's been endorsed by the U.S. Conference of Mayors, the Nashville Association of Counties. So it is very rigorous data that we're releasing today. All in Tennessee, we were lucky to partner with the Tennessee Arts Commission, and all major cities in the state of Tennessee will be revealing their own data over the next 6 weeks. So as a state, we have very, very good numbers, and I'm proud to say that Nashville's numbers are very good in the larger sort of state. In Nashville, we had an intern who worked for 10 months and a staff person working with more than 80 cultural organizations to gather this data. And as we go into the numbers, I want to sort of say this is about nonprofit arts organizations. The data we're going to be talking about is not for-profit entities. It's not the Ryman, it's not Bridgestone, it is nonprofits, small and large, more than 80 in the county who participated in this data, and we're talking about those organizations. Although artists are also very critically important to our arts ecology, as our for-profit entertainment industry, we felt like it was really important to pull apart the data and really look at the economic impact of those places that you and your children love to spend their time, but are sort of often not sort of framed as sort of what people go and visit and when they come to the city, but we're going to change that today. We collected more than 900 participant surveys at events over a 10-month period, and we're really excited about it. This report looks at several things. It looks at direct spend and audience spend. So how do our cultural organizations spend their own money within our county, and how do the audiences coming to those spend their own money? All the numbers you're going to see today do not talk about ticket sales, so it's all the other money people spend to park, to hopefully take the bus, to maybe park the car, to valet if they have to. The mayor really wants to fix that issue, and we're going to work on that. At restaurants, at retail, we know that when people go out, they don't just go out to the theater, they go out to do a lot of different things. We're also going to look at full-time jobs created in the county relative to this, and then state and local revenue collections, which the mayor just cheered about, and we were super excited about too. It's really rich, and it shows how intertwined in our community organizations are to the livelihood of this place that we all love so much. So just a couple of highlights. Collectively, Davidson County cultural nonprofits annually generate $429.3 million of economic impact in this county. That's million with an M, We'll get to billion with a B someday, but with million with an M. And that number is a combination of two really important numbers. $178.8 million of direct spend. That means that the ballet, the children's theater collectively are buying things, investing in plumbers, paving parking lots, paying their artists to do that work, and that aggregate is $178.8 million that they are contributing to our ecology here in Nashville. What's perhaps even more grand and more impressive is that their audiences, the people coming in and out, spend $250.6 million. That means that above and beyond the ticket they're doing or paying their membership fee at the Frisk Center, when they come out to Frisk Fridays, which is tomorrow and you should go for sure, or you go out to Belcourt night, the horror festival at Belcourt, or you take your children to a matinee at the Children's Theater, go see 100 Dresses, it's going to be great, that you're paying for parking and you're paying for restaurants, and that those things are $250.6 million in aggregated, almost $475 million. We know that that's the biggest number in the state of municipalities, and what the study does is compare us to other mid-sized cities around the country, and those numbers are nearly double what other mid-sized cities generate. So our nonprofits work, and they generate work, and they generate money into this county. And the bottom line is that audiences spend, cultural organizations spend, and we're a vibrant part of the business economy in the city. The other thing I want to talk about is jobs. This study takes the overall economic spend, direct and indirect, and amplifies and shows how it amplifies full-time equivalency for jobs. So cultural organizations, we know, hire artists, they hire technical staff, they hire catering staff, et cetera. And we sort of create a nom that directly those organizations are supporting 7,391 jobs, and full-time equivalency jobs, right? What we know is that the audiences coming to those things then create a capacity for an additional 6,000 plus jobs in restaurants and retail, et cetera. So the way to think about that is if all of a sudden we diminish the capacity of the opera or Cheekwood or the Hall of Fame to stop doing what they were doing, in addition to the direct jobs in those places, we would have a minimalization of other jobs that are surrounding that. And here's the thing I want to point out kind of in this moment in time is that those jobs are not jobs that can go somewhere else. They can't be outsourced. They have to be done by local people. We're not going to hire a caterer from Chattanooga to cater your special event. We're hiring that caterer here, probably from a locally owned business. And so you are a vibrant part of sort of feeding this arts, the local small business ecology, and I think that those numbers sort of need to be, the story needs to be told as sort of the amplification of that. And audience spending, so that's our job. So we have a huge overlying economic impact. And I want to talk about tourists, because often when we sort of think and when we talk about local cultural organizations, we talk about what they mean to residents. And I get up with my kids and go to cultural organizations all the time, and those are a vibrant part of what the reality is for quality of life for this community. But I think one of the things that this report does, and which I'm really proud of for us to use the data, is talk really about how local cultural organizations are a regional and national tourist mecca, and for us to be able to unpack that with really good hard numbers. And I know that Council Lady Van Rees couldn't be here today, and her subcommittee talks a lot about sort of tourism, and so I sort of feel like that's really important to have this stuff. This study shows that collectively, the 82 organizations we studied generated 6.6 million visitors. That's a lot. That's way more than our actual population. And of those visitors, of the people coming to activities or events or exhibits and openings, nearly 40% of them are what we call non-resident. They live outside of the county. So, and that again is very much higher than the national average. So our cultural organizations are drawing in tourists, whether they're from ring counties or from regional or from elsewhere. And of the tourists that come, of the sort of non-resident participants, nearly 13% of them are spending at least one night in a hotel. So even if they're coming in from Murfreesboro or somewhere else, they're staying. So I think this is a compelling number that we're not just, our cultural organizations aren't really just a day trip, they're becoming part of the larger package of amenities that our tourists seek out and seek to do. And on average, the non-resident spend is 112% more than the resident spend. So each of you go buy your ticket at the Belcourt and your empanada, but if you live somewhere else, you spend a little bit more. And that's really good, and that really continues to reaffirm our place and our position as a city, as sort of a regional cultural hub, and I think that sort of really begins to sort of tell that story. I think that, again, that 13% overnight stay was a surprising number to me, because I always sort of tend to think of our cultural organizations as sort of for our people, our residents. But I think that number will continue to grow and to grow and to grow, particularly as our cultural organizations grow and continue to offer world-class new works, exhibits, et cetera, that no one else can see anywhere else in the Southeast, and often anywhere else in the country. And that's one of the things I want to sort of champion about our cultural organizations, is that they are cutting edge with their content, which I think is drawing in that sort of tourist dollar. And so here's the bottom line for Nashville. Our arts organizations are part of a business economy, a tourist economy, and a quality of life economy. They are an ecology that is spending nearly twice what other cities are, and directly generating millions of dollars annually in state and local collections. Our arts are a powerhouse, both artistically and economically, and they are a continuing and important return on investment. That's why I'm so happy that the mayor and the council invested in you all as sort of cultural infrastructure, and I think with this report we can definitively say you're also economic infrastructure for this community. We need our community to work together. We need the arts community to be a vital part of these other issues that are facing our city, like transit and things. And I think that this showing arts as a business climate makes the arts sort of a key contributor to these larger quality of life and economic development issues for our city. To build this trajectory, we have to continue to work together to build public, private, and individual investments in the arts, because as the mayor said, they are our special sauce, they are our differentiator, and Nashville will not prosper without a vibrant arts sector, both economically or creatively. Our success as an economic powerhouse rests in being a vibrant, exciting, and global artistic city. And I am thrilled to share this report. It's with you, it's on our website now, and I am happy to take questions. So thank you.